I rebuilt Zubera Storm. It's still playing Viscera Seer plus Floating-Dream Zubera, but today we're playing Resentful Revelation and Ransack the Lab for consistency. Let's go check it out. In front of you is Pauper Zubera Storm, and it's gone through a lot of changes recently, and I rebuilt the deck to make up for the loss of Deadly Dispute because it was banned and this deck took a huge hit. I haven't recorded it in months because I haven't been sure on how to fix it, but I've done some work and I'm going to share that work with you today. So in order to understand the changes, you have to understand how the deck functions. So we have Floating-Dream Zubera, this 2-mana value creature for 1 and a blue, and when it dies, you draw a card for each Zubera that died this turn. And then you combine that with undying effects like Not Dead After All, and in this build, Fake Your Own Death. So that way the Floating-Dream Zubera will return to the battlefield and you can sacrifice it again using the Viscera Seer. Okay, so this way you draw a bunch of cards. And then after that, you would typically return that Floating-Dream Zubera using Unearth or 1 copy of Exhume. Today we're playing 4 copies of Exhume, and I'll get to that in a little bit. So this way you draw through your entire library using the Floating-Dream Zubera, and eventually you cast your Ember-Fist Zubera, and then you deal your opponent damage equal to the number of Zubera that have died this turn. Typically, you would have to use another undying effect like the Not Dead After All to return the Ember-Fist Zubera to the battlefield. That is how you win the game. That's how the deck functions. However, the loss of Deadly Dispute was huge because we have to cast this card that costs blue mana in a deck where there's not a lot of blue cards. So you could play your Surprise and Scaries, which we're not playing today. Instead, we're playing the Sulfur Vent, because Surprise and Scary is only good on the combo turn, which was a problem in my last video. Here, the Sulfur Vent taps for a black mana, or on the combo turn, it makes both the blue mana for the Floating-Dream Zubera and then the red mana for the Ember-Fist Zubera. So that way it does both modes. We like that quite a bit. And then we're playing 1 Contaminated Aquifer, and that's to get with our Troll of Khazad-dûm. I've actually played this in a recent video, and I say recent, it's been in the last year or so, and I hated it in that video, so why would I return to this today? Well, it provides blue mana consistency with the Contaminated Aquifer because you could search out this island hybrid swamp with the Troll of Khazad-dûm. Okay, well, if we're doing that, then why aren't we playing 4 copies of Exhume? So that's what we're doing today. We're playing a subtle Reanimator package with the Troll of Khazad-dûm plus the main deck copies of Exhume, because Exhume not only gets back the Troll, it also gets back Floating-Dream Zubera. So it's good with your primary game plan, but also your secondary game plan of Reanimator Beatdown. Okay, so we like that. And if we're playing 4 copies of Exhume, wouldn't it be nice if we could take some pressure off the mana base by not needing blue mana for the Floating-Dream Zubera? So my mind was originally going to, is there anything in Pauper that is like a black rummage? There's tons of red ones, from Tormenting Voice to Highway Robbery. There's a lot of them. However, none of those cards exist in Pauper. There is black strategic plannings, though, and I'm talking about Ransack the Lab. And if you're unfamiliar with strategic planning, it's the same card but blue. So Ransack the Lab is 1 and a black, 2 mana total. You look at the top 3 cards of your library, you put 1 of them to your hand, the other 2 to the graveyard. And then they sort of reprinted it in Final Fantasy with Resentful Revelation, which is the same text, but it also has flashback for 7 mana, 6 and a black. So if you're mid-combo and you happen to fizzle with a bunch of Cabal Rituals and Dark Rituals in your hand, you can even flash back the Resentful Revelation and keep going. So we're aiming to put the Floating-Dream Zubera onto the battlefield by reanimating it with the Unearth and Exhume, because we put it to the graveyard using Resentful Revelation and Ransack the Lab. So it's a big structural change. And how did we fit all of this? Well, I had to cut Lotus Petal. And you might be saying, Bryant, that makes no sense. You were just saying that you're struggling with blue mana and red mana. I hear you. I really do. And I didn't want to cut Lotus Petal, but you still have to play a high density of combo pieces. So that's what I really struggled with, because you wanted Culling the Weak as an additional sacrifice outlet for the Floating-Dream Zubera, but sometimes you ran out of mana. So Culling the Weak still fits into the deck quite nicely, and there were some games you just didn't find your undying effects. So that was a problem. And I decided to play Fake Your Own Death because it makes a treasure token. So that gives you the blue mana for the Floating-Dream Zubera or the Ember-Fist Zubera mid-combo turn, while also being a combo piece. So this card has a Lotus Petal built in, but it costs an additional mana. So I decided that Fake Your Own Death was the perfect card for this deck list, and that's what we're trying today. I've goldfished it a bunch. I've played it in a couple practice matches, and it's been good so far. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to showcase it today, and hopefully you appreciate the slightly longer deck tech. In the sideboard, we have Duress, and then Pilfer. This is because a lot of people right now are playing Fairy Macabre for the Spy combo deck of the format, and Pilfer discards Fairy Macabre. So you have Duress and Pilfer for blue decks. You have Shred Memory. This one's pretty cool. This is a card that older builds have played in the main deck in order to find your Floating-Dream Zubera, but it's in our sideboard today. It's Graveyard Hate against the Spy deck while also searching out a combo piece. And I think that that's a really interesting hybrid card for our sideboard. You have another copy of Ember-Fist Zubera for those post-board games where there's a lot of Graveyard Hate, and then Flaring Pain beats Prismatic Strands, Siege Smash for Nile Spellbombs and things like that, and then a Geothermal Bog to search out with the Troll of Khazad-dûm. That is the deck list. Hopefully you enjoyed this deck tech, and I will see everyone in match number 1. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like the epicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via the epicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match number 1 with Pauper Zubera Storm. Let's go. I think we keep this. We have double Floating-Dream Zubera in our hand, so if we draw blue land, it's very good. We have Ransack the Lab to dig. I could also find a Floating-Dream Zubera off of the Ransack the Lab, and that would be okay. So we're going to try this out. Basic Forest. Glade Cover Scout, so Boggles or Bogles. We'll play the Peat Bog Pass. Well, another really nice aspect is that Ransack the Lab and Resentful Revelation fill the graveyard for Cabal Ritual Threshold. Pretty good. They name white with the Utopia Sprawl, and now they'll attack for 1. We draw Basic Swamp. We'll play Ransack the Lab. We'll take a Resentful Revelation. Play the Swamp. Pass the turn. They play a Plains, so they drew a land for turn. Sentinel's Eyes, 2 mana available here. And they play a Malevolent Rumble. They find Armadillo Cloak, and that's what they take here. So they have an Armadillo Cloak in their hand. Another Floating-Dream Zubera. We need blue mana here. Oh no. Why couldn't I mill you last turn? So I think I'm forced to get rid of my land here, and we'll play the Resentful Revelation. I suppose I could have just gone to discard. Maybe that would have been better. Why didn't I think of that until after my spell was on the stack? Oh no. So I could take the Unearth and then discard the Floating-Dream Zubera. Or I could take the Swamp, and then next turn I could have Cabal Ritual with Threshold. But I don't have a sacrifice outlet either. Alright, so I think we just have to take the Swamp. And now I'll go to discard, which is maybe what I should have done earlier this game. Discard the Floating-Dream Zubera. They played the Armadillo Cloak. Now they can attack for 4. I'll go to 13. Ouch. Culling the Weak. We'll play Exhume and just pass the turn. So I could have tried to combo this turn. I just don't think we're ready. And I could block the Slippery Bogle with my Floating-Dream Zubera, so I don't think that really matters all that much. They play a Rancor, sure. 6 power. As long as I'm not dead, I don't care. And now they attack for 6. I'll take it. I go to 7. And I do think that I'm going to be pressured to win this turn. Ooh, Sulfur Vent. Not a good draw. So we could start with Cabal Ritual. Play Cabal Ritual. Not dead after all on the Floating-Dream Zubera. And then we will Culling the Weak. So this will draw 1 card here. Okay. And it's a basic Swamp, so not great. We'll flash back the Resentful Revelation. We find the Viscera Seer. So that allows me to sacrifice the Floating-Dream Zubera and draw 2 more. We will sacrifice the Floating-Dream Zubera, and hopefully our top 2 are pretty good. So we'll draw 2. Fake Your Own Death, Culling the Weak. That doesn't do it. Actually, does it? Hold on. No. Wait, I have a land drop. So, yes. We'll keep the Not Dead After All on top. Play my land. Fake Your Own Death on the Viscera Seer. Culling the Weak on the creature, so now it comes back tapped. And now we have mana. I'm able to cast the Floating-Dream Zubera. And now this draws 3. Sacrifice the Floating-Dream Zubera, draw 3. Here we go. Bottom the land. Unearth, return Floating-Dream Zubera. Not dead after all. This will draw a bunch of cards here. Sacrifice. So it will return, and then we'll sacrifice again. So this way I can draw the most cards possible. Okay. Dark Ritual. I think we've got it now. Scry. Put that on the bottom. I did not play this game that well, and we're still going to get a victory here. We'll put that on the bottom. Dark Ritual. We'll play Unearth, return the Floating-Dream Zubera. We'll fake our own death on the Floating-Dream Zubera. 23 cards left. Sacrifice. And now we'll sacrifice again. This will draw a boatload of cards. Put the land on the bottom. And scry 1. We have 9 cards remaining in our deck. I found the Ember-Fist Zubera. That's good. We'll play it. Dark Ritual. They're at 28, so I do have to deal a lot of damage here. We will fake our own death. Sacrifice the Ember-Fist Zubera. Target you. We can definitely deal 28 here. Sacrifice with that trigger still on the stack. And now they'll take some more damage. Keep the Cabal Ritual on top, I guess. So now they're at 10. We'll play Unearth. I'm sorry, we'll play Exhume. And I will get back the Ember-Fist Zubera. And we will sacrifice it to deal exactly 10. And I could return it again, so we could deal probably 41 plus 12. So 53 damage we could do. And we beat Bogles. Nice. Even with my play not being great, we still got there. Like, I think it would have been better if I would have just discarded the Floating-Dream Zubera earlier on in the game. So we could sideboard here. And I think the only change I would make is bringing in the second Ember-Fist Zubera in case you think that our Bogles opponent is playing Fairy Macabre. That's the only change I would make here. And maybe you cut a Troll of Khazad-dûm, because I don't think you're going to be able to beat them down. That's probably okay. We'll do that. Let's try this. A very good hand. Wow. Keep. All day. If you could give me this hand for the entire league, I would keep it every time. Doesn't matter the matchup. Utopia Sprawl. And they name red. Exhume is a decent draw. This might be a turn 3 win. They play Basic Plains. Why did you name red? They play Malevolent Rumble. Pyroblast. Okay. So I guess that makes sense. Dark Ritual. I mean, in theory, you could try for a turn 2 win here. I'm not going to, but you could. We'll play the Viscera Seer. Pass. 3 mana. Are you going to Ancestral Mask on your Eldrazi spawn token? Do it. Does that affect me? Oh, it stops my undying effects. Okay. So I guess it does affect me here. I mean, we could win without the undying effects. It's just more difficult. And now they play the Ancestral Mask. So we drew a Not Dead After All after the Standard Bearer had entered. Not the end of the world. I think it would be a little greedy to just jam here. So I'm going to Ransack the Lab instead. There's nothing good on top. We'll take a Cabal Ritual and just pass the turn. The reanimate spells will be more crucial than ever due to the Standard Bearer. So the list we're playing today is actually better suited to beat this card than previous versions, where there was like 1 Exhume plus the 4 Unearth, another Ancestral Mask. This is a 17/17 now. That is a big boy. All right, so we're going to go to 3 here, and now we have to win. The Ember-Fist Zubera. So we'll sacrifice here. Play Dark Ritual. Floating-Dream Zubera. Ooh, this is target creature I control. It can't target the Standard Bearer. Interesting. Okay. Trying to think the best way to sequence here so that way I can maximize Cabal Ritual Threshold, but I don't know if there's a good way to do it. Okay, so the Ember-Fist Zubera can target the Standard Bearer, so I'd have to kill the Standard Bearer before I can deal them damage. But I think that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to Not Dead After All on the Floating-Dream Zubera. We'll start there. And then we'll sacrifice the Floating-Dream Zubera. It will now return. Unless their last card is Fairy Macabre. Okay, they paused there for a second. And now it returns again. Oh no, it draws, my bad. So they'll lose a life here due to the Wicked Roll token. And now we scry. Wait, I don't think I want to auto-yield to that. That would be bad. We'll keep the Cabal Ritual on top. Draw again. And now we scry. Troll of Khazad-dûm can go on the bottom. So I did not hit a Dark Ritual, so I think we have to Ember-Fist Zubera here. Alternatively, I'm worried about the other one not saying target creature you control. Okay, so we're looking at Fake Your Own Death here. Target creature. So it can target the Standard Bearer, so I need to keep the red mana floating. Okay, good to know. Back to the game. So, because I don't have another untapped red mana in the deck, so we have to Culling the Weak the Viscera Seer here if we want to win. Alright, so now I'll play Cabal Ritual. We'll unearth on the Viscera Seer, Exhume, and now I can Not Dead After All on the Floating-Dream Zubera. We'll Cabal Ritual. Let's draw some cards. So it now returns. We'll sacrifice it again. So now we'll draw more cards. And Fake Your Own Death can target the Standard Bearer, so I can't play it. So now we'll scry. I think we ransack the lab here. We'll keep the Unearth on top. Play the Cabal Rituals. Tons of mana. Okay. And now I will ransack the lab just to get that Unearth off the top. And we get to put an Ember-Fist Zubera to the graveyard here. That's nice. So now I will return the Floating-Dream Zubera. We'll sacrifice it and draw more cards. Put the Swamp on the bottom. We can play our land for turn. Let's play the Resentful Revelation. Take the Not Dead After All. And now we will Exhume. Return the Floating-Dream Zubera. How many Not Dead After Alls have I used? Because I think I might need both. I might need the remaining two for the Ember-Fist Zubera. So I've used 2 already. We'll just sacrifice the Floating-Dream Zubera here. Draw more cards. That was a draw 6. Put the Unearth on top. Dark Ritual. We'll play Exhume. Return Floating-Dream Zubera. Sacrifice it. Now this is a draw 7. Ransack the lab can go on the bottom. Dark Ritual. We'll return Floating-Dream Zubera. And this is going to be the last time we draw. So this should be a draw 8 here, leaving 2 cards in the deck. And they're both cards we don't want because we know that they're on the bottom. That can stay on the bottom. Okay, so now it's time for us to win. I'll play the Ember-Fist Zubera. And now we'll unearth the other Ember-Fist Zubera. So I lose if their last card is Fairy Macabre, but I feel like they would have used it by now. I'm trying to think if there's a better thing. I think the Not Dead After All is the move here. So I'm going to play that. And now we sacrifice, target the Standard Bearer. It now returns. And I'll sacrifice again. And it will deal damage to the Standard Bearer. Goes on top. And now it's gone. So now we're able to win the game. We will Fake Our Own Death. Sacrifice the Ember-Fist Zubera. Target the opponent. I guess we'll sacrifice again here. Target the opponent. And this will do. I guess I could have played this differently. If I was concerned with them having Fairy Macabre, I could have returned the other Ember-Fist so they neither were in the graveyard at the same time. Because I had another Exhume here. It just dawned on me that would have been the better move. But we won match number 1 over Bogles. And we beat a hate piece, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, we're 1-0. Hopefully we get the next 4. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we're on the play. Hopefully we get another match win here. Okay, this seems like a keep to me. You can play turn 1 Peatbog, turn 2 cycle the Troll of Khazad-dûm for a swamp, and then play Ransack the Lab. Turn 1 Peatbog, pass. Mountain. Okay, we drew a swamp. We'll play Ransack the Lab. I think we take the Cabal Ritual. Play the swamp, pass the turn. And step the lava dart. Okay, lava dart's a little annoying with our Viscera Seer deck. And step will cycle the Troll of Khazad-dûm, so this might be a good matchup for exhuming the Troll of Khazad-dûm. Another land. We'll play it and pass. And step Lightning Bolt, I go to 16. They have land number 3. Gutter Snipe. Grab the prize, discarding Fiery Temper. Okay. Ouch. I'm going to be at 11. Maybe Troll of Khazad-dûm beatdown is a little too slow now. We'll play Ransack the Lab. Take the Floating-Dream Zubera. Play the Sulfur Vent. And let's play Resentful Revelation. Take the Not Dead After All. And we'll pass. So assuming that I get another turn here, I'm at 11, so there's a chance that we don't. But I can try to win next turn, even through the Lava Dart. There's the Gutter Snipe. So the Lava Dart in the graveyard deals 3. Faithless Looting. So I'm at 9. I'm dead to Fire Blast plus Lava Dart here. Another Lava Dart to the graveyard. Okay. And they have the Fire Blast. Bummer. Okay. Turn too slow. I don't think we sideboard here. I was looking earlier, a lot of these red decks don't play Graveyard Hate, so I'm just not going to worry about it. On the play. Yeah, I mean, it's a good hand. I do need blue mana. We have the Troll of Khazad-dûm to cycle. Maybe if I can get them on a turn where they don't have a Lava Dart, or they didn't play Lava Dart, that could help. Unearth. Cycle. We'll grab the Contaminated Aquifer, we'll play it. And I think I'm supposed to play this out. It's going to feel bad if they kill it, but I can't win next turn if it's not in play. And they do have Lava Dart, of course. We'll sacrifice it to itself. Ay. We'll keep the Peat Bog. They have land number 2. They plot a highway robbery. I will pass the turn here. I was thinking about bringing back the Viscera Seer in my main phase, but I just don't need to do that. Like, 1 mana next turn isn't going to be the difference maker. And now they play the highway robbery. Gets rid of another Lava Dart. You are not a nice person. Why are you doing this to me? Come on. I'm over here playing Zuberas and you're just trying to bully me? They got rid of a Fire Blast. That's surprising. Maybe they have 2. 5 cards in their hand. We're still at 20. I think I'm going to pass. You could play out the Floating-Dream Zubera, but the fact that both of our lands are depletion lands that aren't the Contaminated Aquifer is a little weird. Also, would have been a great matchup for having Exhume, but we just haven't drawn it. They play land number 4, 5 cards still in hand. The Gutter Snipe. Still leaving open that mountain. Ransack the Lab. We'll cast that. There's the Exhume, but it's way too late. I think we take the Not Dead After All and hope that I get another turn. Because it's not guaranteed. Like, they have 4 cards in hand. They have a Gutter Snipe, double Lava Dart in the graveyard. The Lava Darts are 6 damage. Kessig Flame Breather. Grab the prize. So this is going to deal me 5 damage, plus the Lava Darts in the graveyard. There's an attack for 2. They got rid of a 3rd Lava Dart. Gut Shot. That's surprising. I'm dead. The triple Lava Dart puts me... That's 9, the attack for 2. Wow. Okay. I mean, they got me. Oh, wait, Lava Dart's actually more than 3. I was counting them as 3s. They're 4 damage with Kessig Flame Breather. So our opponent's list was set up for us here. It's not typical to see Gut Shot. So they had Lava Darts and Gut Shots. And the second Fire Blast, like I guessed that they had because they discarded 1 earlier. Yeah, we just got smoked. No excuses. Sometimes you just lose. So we are now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Welcome to the 3rd match. We're on the draw. This is a solid hand. We'll try it out. A thought that I had after that match, waiting for round number 3 to queue, is in our sideboard, we could change some number of slots to have a sacrifice outlet with 2 toughness. So that way something like a Lava Dart isn't as big of a deal. A lot of lists used to play Bloodthrower and Vampire, but that's still only 1 power. Or 1 toughness, I'm sorry. It does get larger, but it still dies to Lava Dart and stuff like that. So what if you don't play a creature? What if instead you... Okay, hold on, let's think here for a second. Should I discard the Floating-Dream Zubera? I think so. We'll just discard here. So what if instead you played something like an Ashnod's Altar that doesn't get killed by creature removal? Like, I think that actually might be really interesting. They play Prophetic Prism, sure. We'll play the Peat Bog, pass. 2 mana here for an Energy Refractor. They're on the blue list, okay, so that gives me some information. We'll play the Peat Bog, Viscera Seer, and Unearth on the Floating-Dream Zubera. Pass the turn. They Ghostly Flicker on their artifacts, so they'll draw 2 cards here. Bojuka Bog. So that is a card that they're playing out now because they would like to Ghostly Flicker it later. I think this is our window to win, so we're going to try to take it here. I'm going to play Resentful Revelation. We find a Not Dead After All. Wonderful. We'll play it on the Floating-Dream Zubera. And now we'll sacrifice. And if I haven't said it in this video previously, you always want to do the return trigger first, because then you draw the most cards possible. So when you do it this way, you get to draw 4 cards instead of 3. So they'll lose a life. We'll scry. We'll keep the Fake Your Own Death on top. And now we'll draw and scry again. I don't think I want another Zubera here. That can go on the bottom. We'll play our land for turn. Dark Ritual. Play Exhume. And now we'll play Fake Your Own Death. And we'll draw again. So this time, we'll draw 4 cards per trigger. So 8 cards total here. Okay, scry. The Troll of Khazad-dûm can go on the bottom. And now we'll scry again. That can go on the bottom. We'll lose our Peat Bog. I'll play Dark Ritual. Cabal Ritual. Cabal Ritual again. And now we will play Unearth to return the Floating-Dream Zubera. And I'm going to see if I can find a Undying effect here. Ransack the Lab, we'll take that. Play the Ransack the Lab. We'll take Fake Your Own Death. Cast it. So one big thing about this deck list today is I do believe that the Ransack the Lab and Resentful Revelation are huge upgrades because they allow consistency. And if you watched any of the videos in the past, the deck really lacked it because you had things like Village Rites and Deadly Dispute that were only good on the combo turn. Now the deck has setup spells, and I think that's one of the biggest differences, is this list feels more consistent because you have setup spells. And setup spells aren't everything, but they certainly help. We'll play another Exhume here. I don't know how many cards this draws, so I'm a little nervous right now about sacrificing it and drawing and trying to do the Undying. So I think I'm just going to sacrifice here and not do any of the Undying stuff. All right, so we drew 8. I could have done the Undying stuff and it would have drawn the whole deck if I had stacked it correctly. And we find the Ember-Fist Zubera, so that will be good enough. We'll cast it. Not dead after all. Sacrifice. Target you. It returns. We'll do Not Dead After All. Or no, I'm sorry, this is Fake Your Own Death. And then we'll sacrifice it again. Target you. And now it returns. So many triggers. Sacrifice. And now they'll all resolve. Cabal Ritual can stay on top. Sweet. So we win game number 1 versus Ephemerate Tron. This is likely a matchup where we want the discard spells, but it's also a matchup where I kind of like the Troll of Khazad-dûm beatdown. I'm just going to throw that out there. So what are we going to cut? Because we have 6 cards coming in. I think the Culling the Weeks can probably go to the sideboard. Like, I would have to imagine our opponent is going to take out all of their creature removal stuff, and like Troll of Khazad-dûm will end up being very effective. I wonder if it's crazy to board down on Undying effects. We'll board down on 1 of each Undying effect and then 2 Unearth. So we're less of a combo deck here. We'll see how it goes. This might be the wrong board plan, but I'm going to try it. Ideally, I have a quick Troll of Khazad-dûm and then we run away with the match. There's a Troll of Khazad-dûm. So I just need to find Exhume. And we have 2 search effects for it. Keep. They mulligan to 5. Urza's Tower. We'll play Sulfur Vent. The Viscera Seer was not a bad draw. Urza's Mine. Natural Tron, I hope not. We'll play Duress. Take the Lorien Revealed. Play the Peat Bog. Pass. They drew Energy Refractor for turn, which draws the missing Tron piece. Wow. That's insane. I mean, I could try to set up to win next turn. We'll cycle the Troll of Khazad-dûm. We'll play the Contaminated Aquifer. And then let's Resentful Revelation. None of these were good. The fear is that I have like no mana right now. We'll take the Ransack the Lab. Pass. They play an island. Mnemonic Wall. This gets back the Lorien Revealed. They have one unknown card. Unearth. We'll play the Viscera Seer. Unearth on the Floating-Dream Zubera. Not dead after all. So this will be a draw 4. Alright, so the trigger happens. We'll sacrifice. Draw 2. They lose 1. There's the Exhume. We'll keep that. Draw. Did not hit an untapped land or a Dark Ritual. Keep the Duress on top. We'll play our land. And I think I just have to pass the turn. Lorien Revealed, hard cast. Bojuka Bog. Yep. That's annoying. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just like a little annoying here. Play Duress. They have nothing. Wow. Okay, let's cycle the Troll of Khazad-dûm. And I think we're just going to put the Troll in play here. Make them think about the Troll while we try to set up the combo win. They play the Elder, so now they get the Wizard that deals me damage. They drew Impulse. So this could find an interaction spell. They play a land. So what spell did you find here? Ghostly Flicker. Okay, so now they can return the Ghostly Flicker, and they get another Wizard here. Okay, so they're actually not in a bad spot. Cabal Ritual is a fine draw. We'll attack. So they're at 13. I think I might be pressured to try to win this turn. So part of me is like, I think maybe I'm supposed to start off by sacrificing the Troll and Scrying to set up my top cards. Keep that on top. Sacrifice. Sacrifice. That's 5 cards in graveyard. We'll play Floating-Dream Zubera. And then we'll just sacrifice it. Actually, hold on. We can fake our own death here. And now we'll sacrifice, because we know that we have the Exhume on top. And now we'll sacrifice it again. So we'll draw 4. Keep the Cabal Ritual. Draw 2. Dark Ritual. I think we keep that. Player land. Now we have Threshold for this Cabal Ritual. Cabal Ritual. Floating-Dream Zubera. Sacrifice it. We'll draw. Okay. Put the Sulfur Vent on the bottom. We'll ransack the lab, take the Resentful Revelation, ransack the lab, fake your own death, play Dark Ritual, play Dark Ritual. I really do feel like the look at the top 3 effects are the big difference maker today. Like, I don't think this deck has ever felt this consistent before. We'll play the Exhume, return Floating-Dream Zubera, fake your own death, sacrifice, and now we'll sacrifice again. Draw a whole bunch of cards. Swamp to the bottom. We'll draw 5 more. Put Pilfer on the bottom. Dark Ritual. Cabal Ritual. Exhume. Return the Floating-Dream Zubera. Fake our own death. Sacrifice. So the last ones drew 5. So if I do this, they should draw 7, leaving 1 card left in my deck. Put Pilfer on the bottom. And now we have drawn our entire library minus a single copy of Pilfer. Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual. Just to make sure, we'll play Pilfer here. Like, we know what their card is, but you never know. I guess, like, you might as well be safe than sorry. Play the Ember-Fist Zubera. Not dead after all. Sacrifice. Target you. Sacrifice. Target you. So, looks like we just beat Ephemerate Tron. Zubera Storm looking decent. Sweet. We're now 2-1. Can you believe it? Let's go get the next 2. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Round number 4, we're on the draw. I will keep this. This seems like a great hand to me. Island, okay. We'll play the swamp and pass the turn. They cast a Preordain. 2 cards on the bottom. End step, we will cycle Troll of Khazad-dûm. We'll grab the Contaminated Aquifer. Okay, we'll play the Aquifer, pass the turn. On the end step, we'll cycle the other Troll of Khazad-dûm to go grab a basic swamp. They have land number 3. And our opponent just refusing to tap out. End step, we will cycle, grab another swamp. So we have the Visaris here. I think we just try to set up here a little bit. Ransack the lab, take the Exhume, pass the turn. They're on High Tide. Okay. So there's a chance I could be dead here. Pieces of the puzzle, so they don't have it, and I get a chance to kill them now. Big fan of that. Like winning the game. Huge fan. Alright. We'll cast a Dark Ritual. Play the Viscera Seer. Floating-Dream Zubera. So I'm 1 card short of Cabal Ritual Threshold here. Trying to think of the best thing I could do. I think I will sacrifice the Viscera Seer because I have the other one in my hand. Bottom the swamp. Play Cabal Ritual. Now I can play the other Viscera Seer. Not dead after all. And we'll draw 4 cards. Sacrifice. Draw 2. Put the land on the bottom. Draw 2. Unearth was a good one. Bottom the Ransack the Lab. I don't think we need that. We'll play Unearth, returning the Floating-Dream Zubera. And then calling the Weak. This draws 3, I believe. Yeah, 3. And now we will Exhume to pick up that Floating-Dream Zubera once again. And then we'll fake our own death. What's nice about this one is that it allows me to cast the Floating-Dream Zubera from my hand after. So it returns, we sacrifice, draw, play a Dark Ritual, keep the Cabal Ritual on top, draw, scry. Sure, we'll keep that. Cabal Ritual, we'll play Exhume, return the Floating-Dream Zubera, not dead after all, sacrifice. I'm not sure how many cards we'll have left in deck after this, but we'll figure it out. Alright, draw a whole bunch of cards. Oh, apparently a whole bunch of 7, so we'll have 13 cards left in our library. Sweet. I guess I should play a land. We have not drawn the win condition yet, so I will unearth, returning the Floating-Dream Zubera, and then we'll sacrifice it, draw, scry, bottom the Dark Ritual. There it is. Okay, we will play Floating-Dream Zubera. And then we'll fake our own death, sacrifice, target you, sacrifice, target you. Alright, we win game number 1 against High Tide. High Tide, no match. No match at all for Zubera Storm. 5th most popular deck according to MTG Goldfish. Can't handle the Zuberas. We'll bring in Duress and Pilfer. And I think you're supposed to just board out the trolls here. I'm a little concerned about our mana situation if I'm boarding out trolls, but they are the flex spots of the deck, so I think we're supposed to try to make it work. Could also just board in land 15, if that's a concern. And then I need 3 cuts. Maybe 1 of each, look at the top 3 effect. And, well, hold on, let's board out Calling the Weak, and then we'll keep 1 of the top 3 effects. Let's do this. Game number 2 on the draw. It's a 1-lander. But we don't have any sideboard cards in it anyway. I'm going to keep it. It's sketchy, but I think it's close enough that it's worth keeping. I could be wrong. Another Visaris here was not a good draw. Merchant Scroll, don't love that. Land. Dark Ritual. Gives me a chance for next turn. We'll pass. Preordain. They have land number 3. We know that they have 1 High Tide right now. Ooh, that gives them the other High Tide, so they're likely to win next turn. My draws have not been great so far. Swamp. So I could go like Dark Ritual, Ransack the Lab, and try to take a piece out of their hand if I hit one of my 6 discard spells. We could also just like say F it and try to win. But I think it all starts with Dark Ritual, Ransack the Lab, so that's what we'll do. We missed on everything. Take the Fake Your Own Death. What to do, what to do? So I could sacrifice the Sulfur Vent. That puts 5 cards to the graveyard. The Viscera here would be 6, so that's still 1 short. I think I almost have to burn the Cabal Ritual here. It stinks, but I think it's like something we're priced into doing. Ransack the lab. We hit a Floating-Dream Zubera, but I don't have the mana now. So we take the Pilfer and then hope that the game gets dragged out. Wait, I thought they grabbed Psychic Puppetry last turn. Okay. We'll take the Psychic Puppetry and attack. We can still win this game. We just need to draw lands. I know it's a tough ask, but we could do it. They play an island. Stream of Thought targeting me, so this will shuffle in my Floating-Dream Zuberas. Oh, they didn't. Interesting. Okay. We'll play Duress. Take the High Tide. We'll attack for 1. Pass the turn. They peer through depths. They find pieces of the puzzle. And they cast it. They board it in Snap. That's interesting. I think if I were them, I would actually choose double preordain, and that's what they did. They put 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. They took land number 5, so that way they could hardcast Lorien Revealed next turn, which makes sense. They put 2 cards on top. That's scary. Alright, in my upkeep, I'm going to sacrifice the Viscera Seer to itself. Get rid of the Resentful Revelation. We'll draw. Geothermal Bog. So land 15, that is relevant. We'll pass. So if I could draw Dark Ritual or Cabal Ritual, I can try to win next turn. They play a land. Come on, Cabal Ritual. We have 3 of them. Duress. I'll take a Duress. Brainstorm. So they can hide their best cards here. Duress on the stack. They have 6 cards in their hand now. We'll take a High Tide. Swing. They have a Psychic Puppetry. They could tap down both my lands and my upkeep if they wanted to. They reach through Mists. Okay. And now they're going to Merchant Scroll to find another High Tide. And now Merchant Scroll. So they have the win next turn. I need to draw a Cabal Ritual. That is not good enough. Play the land. We'll play Exhume. Swing. Yeah, unfortunately, our mana this game just didn't work. They have double High Tide. Ideas Unbound is their draw for the turn. That's wild. I think we're dead. Another Merchant Scroll. So this can grab another Psychic Puppetry. And they still have double Peer Through Depths plus Lorien Revealed. I'm good to pick it up from here. We came close. We didn't get there. I am interested in seeing my top card, though. Ah, the next one was the Cabal Ritual we wanted. Brutal. A draw step away. I'm going to just resubmit. I think that our sideboarding was right. I just needed to draw lands earlier. On the play for game 3. We'll keep this. My concern is not finding the missing pieces, but this hand is good enough. Like, if you find the Viscera Seer and the Floating-Dream Zubera, you're in good luck. They have a mulligan to 5. We'll play Sulfur Vent and pass. They have Island. I'm just going to ransack the lab here. Take the Duress. Land number 3 was interesting, but not a card I want. Or I should say, not a card I need. Another Pilfer. We'll play it. And now they'll Brainstorm. New Envelop. Okay. And now they Brainstorm. They play a land. 4 cards remain. Another Unearth. I will play... Whoops. Please don't do that. No! It wouldn't let me undo. Whoops. If I lose this, I'm going to be upset. There should have been a discard spell there. I was trying to undo, and it just did not let me. And they just have the win. That was not good. I have to hope that they fizzle. That's the only way we get there now. They have a land, 4 cards, High Tide. We have to hope they just don't have more action. They have 1 Psychic Puppetry, and then 2 unknowns. Peer Through Depths. No Arcane Spell, please. Concede. Concede! I'm so disappointed with that Exhume. I was trying to not cast it. The long pause from the opponent here makes me feel a little bit like they don't have it, but I could be wrong. They have Psychic Puppetry plus 1 other unknown in hand, and then they're looking at their top 5 for an instant or sorcery that likely needs to be an arcane spell. Their islands tap for 4, so they could tap the island right now that they have and have 5 total mana. So if they hit pieces of the puzzle, there's still a chance that they have it, because pieces of the puzzle could hit. They take Brainstorm. Okay. Oh, I forgot the island untapped. So they actually have more than 5 mana. They had 9 mana, which is a lot. And now Brainstorm digs 3 more deep for an arcane spell. And they could possibly convert the dead card they had in hand that wasn't Psychic Puppetry into something relevant. And I do think in spots like this, I'd rather have Ponder over Brainstorm, which is something I've talked about in my High Tide videos, but nobody seems to believe me. Because the Ponder digs deeper than Brainstorm for what you need. And now they Merchant Scroll. This can grab another Peer Through Depths. I feel like the odds that they fizzle now are pretty low. They grabbed another Psychic Puppetry. That's greedy. Your island's already tapped for 4. I would have grabbed a Peer Through Depths there. But maybe their Ideas Inbound here draws perfects. Okay. They burned the Psychic Puppetry after searching for it. They hardcast Lorien Revealed. Yeah, I would have went and got a Peer Through Depths there. Pieces of the puzzle. And then that hits. I'm dead. My accidental Exhume play here cost us the match. I mean, there's a chance they fizzle, but I doubt it. That's disappointing. I feel like we should be 3-1. Well, okay, I wouldn't have won the match, but I would have delayed their combo turn. And then I had another discard spell for the following turn. Come on, fizzle. Another Psychic Puppetry. It's so hard for them to fizzle at this point because their deck is full of draw spells, and they have roughly infinite mana. So I would need them to just draw a lot of lands. Another Merchant Scroll. They grab another Psychic Puppetry. Peer Through Depths, making a whole bunch of mana. They grab a High Tide. They play the High Tide. Hardcast Lorien Revealed. 24 cards left in their deck. I mean, I really doubt that they fizzled, but I'd be super happy if they did. 10 cards in their hand. They have triple Psychic Puppetry. Now they Peer Through Depths again. All the mana in the world. They grab a Reach Through Mists. They just cast another Lorien Revealed. 19 cards left in deck. Come on, 9 islands, 3 Psychic Puppetry in your hand. Nope. Merchant Scroll. They grab a Reach Through Mists. They have 16 floating mana. All of their islands tap for 5, I believe. 36 mana here. They undid, but they had 36, I believe it said. Stream of Thought. Alright, so I do want to look at the first one to see what my draws would have been if I had not messed this up. Floating-Dream Zubera would have been my next draw, which is a card we wanted. No lands, though. Our opponent's restocking their library. So they tap for 36 and then decided to not do all of it. So I think that they're not done comboing. They just wanted to re-put more arcane spells in their deck. They also, I think, missed a win. Because what they could have done is they had 36 mana. They could have just burned all of their Psychic Puppetries to make 48 plus mana and then decked me. So they didn't need to do what they just did. Maybe it doesn't matter, but they had a deterministic win there and they just did not take it. And now they Peer Through Depths. Ultimately, I mean, it's my own fault. I accidentally cast a Exhume instead of Pilfer, and that was the difference in this game. And they cast the other Stream of Thought, and I can now concede. Alright, I am so sorry. This match was my own fault. Not going to dwell on it, we'll just try to get the next one. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? The final match. We can't change what happened last round. Once again, my apologies, but we're going to try to win this one. We're on the draw. I've opened up a fine hand. We just need a Visaris here, and this hand's ready to go. So yeah, let's do it. Basic Island. Fairies here, so a tough matchup. Wow. Alright, I was hoping for an easier one in the final round, but we'll try to make this work. Play the Sulfur Vent and pass. They have an island, and they attack. No play. An Unearth. I will try a Resentful Revelation. They have Spell Pierce. We will pass the turn. Okay, they have 3 cards in hand. Of One Mind, a very good card in that spot. Now they're back up to 3 after playing a land. They swing, Exhume. I think I'll pass here. I might cycle an Unearth on their end step. No blocks. They have a Moon Circuit Hacker. Okay, so now they have the snowball going. and they're leaving open 2 mana for a counterspell or a spell stutter sprite. We'll cycle the Unearth. There's the Visaris here, so if for some reason our opponent tapped out, we'd be okay. I'll play the Floating-Dream Zubera. If they counterspell this, we could actually potentially try to win here. And they do. Alright, so let's just talk through this. I can play my land, Dark Ritual, Visaris here, and then Unearth, Fake Your Own Death, Dark Ritual, Visaris here. We'll Unearth, getting back the Floating-Dream Zubera, Fake Your Own Death, Sacrifice. So I get the treasure token. I've already played my land. So I could try to draw exactly Dark Ritual here, or I guess one of the two culling the week to keep going. Or I could not dead after all and then draw even more cards and try again next turn. I just feel like drawing exactly Dark Ritual or calling the week in the top two is not the move. So I'll not dead after all here and then sacrifice. So now the Floating-Dream Zubera returns. And now these should draw 3 each. So I'll have 7 cards and I can pass the turn. Oh no, it's because I didn't sacrifice. Okay, my bad. So I'll have 5 cards. So I messed up. I will sacrifice here. My bad. So we wouldn't have hit the ritual because the first 2 were both lands and I've already played a land for turn. We'll put the Visaris here on the bottom. Keep the Exhume. And now the Visaris here. We'll put the Floating-Dream Zubera on the bottom. We have the one we need. And now I can go to cleanup, get rid of some lands. They have land number 4 into Fairy Seer. They play Of One Mind. They swing. I'm not going to block. I'm at 11. They drew a lot of cards this turn. The odds are that they have another counter spell. I would like a Dark Ritual, but like that would be a really good draw for me. We've seen a third of our deck. No Dark Rituals, no... Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have 1 Dark Ritual. So we've seen 1 Dark Ritual, no Cabal Rituals. Calling the weak. Let's try to Unearth on the Floating-Dream Zubera. That resolved. Calling the weak. We draw 1 card, which was a tap land. Not the best. Calling the weak. That resolved. Interesting. We'll try and Exhume. Try another Calling the Weak here. So this will draw 2. Cabal Ritual is a good draw. Cabal Ritual. Try another Exhume. Maybe they don't have any counter spells. We'll ransack the lab here looking for an undying effect. Fake Your Own Death. We'll play that. They were waiting for the undying effect the whole time? Or they were just holding open snap? Alright, so we'll sacrifice here. Our spell will fizzle, but they're tapped out now. Keep the Dark Ritual on top? Yeah, I think we keep the Dark Ritual. So our spell will fizzle. We'll play Dark Ritual. Play Exhume. Sacrifice the Floating-Dream Zubera. Ooh, out of recursion here. We'll put the Floating-Dream Zubera on the bottom. Cabal Ritual. Resentful Revelation. We'll take Ransack the Lab. We'll play Ransack the Lab. Ooh, we're running on fumes here. Take the Resentful Revelation. Dark Ritual. Resentful Revelation. I need a reanimate effect here. We hit Exhume, but now I'm out of mana. I needed it to actually be Unearth. And we've already used all 4 Unearths. That's a bummer. So we'll take the Exhume. We'll play it. Return the Floating-Dream Zubera. And I guess I just need to restock here. Keep the Not Dead After All on top. We'll pass the turn. Discard some lands. They play a Fairy Miscreant and another. So they drew a card off the second one. They play land number 5. And now they swing out. I can't afford to block. So we're going to take 6 and they get to draw 2, discard 2. Only 12 cards left in my deck here. I don't even know if we have enough resources to win. And they discarded a Spell Stutter Sprite, which means that they have double counterspell in their hand. Yeah, our deck just fizzled. Maybe I was wrong for playing into Snap. And they Spell Stutter Sprite. I think we're dead. I'm going to go to the next one. We had a window of opportunity and I squandered it. Disappointing. I think we do a similar plan to High Tide where I bring in the 6 discard spells. And then we'll board out the Troll of Khazad-dûms because they're a snap strategy, so it doesn't seem great to me. Get rid of Calling the Weak. And we'll shave on the undying effects. I get to board 1 card back in. We'll do 1 Calling the Weak. Let's try this. On the play. Sure. This seems pretty good to me. Play Sulfur Vent, pass the turn. They play an island. So they could have, like, Spell Pierce open here. We'll play Viscera Seer. And another one. Pass the turn. They're just going to keep their mana open. Play the Sulfur Vent, and we'll attack. Swing. We will pass the turn. They flash in a Spellstutter Sprite. That's most likely because they want to pick it up with a Nijitsu creature. And now they swing. Here it is, the Moon-Circuit Hacker. We find an Exhume. I will attack with one Viscera Seer here, leaving the other back to block with. We'll try a Resentful Revelation. If it gets Spell Pierced or Counterspelled, it's not the end of the world. Take the land. And I'm not going to play my Duress into Spellstutter Sprite, so we'll just pass. I've never seen this card before in my life. Alright, so the creature gets +1/+1, and it has the Umbra, which means that if it were to die, it returns to the battlefield and you lose the enchantment. Why did you board this in against me? They snap my creature. I'll sacrifice it. I wasn't going to block anyway after you made it larger. We'll put the Unearth on the bottom. And now they attack. They discard a Fairy Seer. We draw another Sulfur Vent. Swing. Pass the turn, they're at 16. Coming into this league, if you told me that I went 3-2, losing to Burn and Mono Blue Fairies, I would consider that, like, not a terrible league. But I am a little disappointed with the High Tide loss. Like, Burn's a tough matchup, and, like, Mono Blue Fairies just being all interaction is very difficult. So I'm not expecting to necessarily win those. We'll swing. Pass the turn. They played land number 5. Of One Mind, hard cast for 3 mana. Ouch. Not dead after all. I mean, if we had drawn a Floating-Dream Zubera, I could have tried to win that turn, but we didn't. Instead, they flash in Spellstutter Sprite. 6 lands, 6 cards in hand. I feel like my window is closed this game. We'll continue to play it out, but I'm pretty sure I can't win. I could have last turn when they only had 2 mana open if I had drawn the Floating-Dream Zubera. Another land. I mean, there's nothing I can really do here. We'll play Dark Ritual. Like, I can flash back to Resentful Revelation, but then I'm not going to have mana to do anything. They have Spellstutter Sprite and Counterspell, and then they can snap their Spellstutter Sprite too. So essentially they have triple Counterspell here, and that's going to do it. So we went 2-3, should have been 3-2 in my opinion. Once again, apologies about the High Tide match. That's my own fault. I didn't mean to cast the Exhume, it just happened. I would play this deck list again, at least the 60. In the sideboard, I do think you might want to consider like an Ashnod's Altar, so that way you have a sacrifice outlet that doesn't die to things like a Lava Dart. I think that would be really good here. Or if there's something better, let me know. Like, there might be a better card than the Ashnod's Altar that I can't think of. But that's where I would start. I thought that this deck list was a major improvement compared to the past variations of the deck. If you have any, conflicting opinions, let me know down below. Or if you have an idea to improve upon the list, tell me. Let's work together. You could also join our Storm Discord in the description, where I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people talking about the deck after the video releases. So everyone, thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, keep storming. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. After you do that, open up our description where you can find all of our social media networks, including our Discord, where you can discuss today's deck in that Discord with me and tons of other combo masterminds. It's absolutely free to join, and it's certainly worth your while.